In this particular drawing we have a Blocks Quantities tab, a layout tab with no viewports. What we're going to do is we're going to extract all of the model space block data and put it in a large table on this particular tab. Now bear in mind this is an A1 sheet, so it's going to be quite large. So what I really ought to do there is let people know that. So I'll right click here and I'm going to rename that, and what I'm going to do there is just click there and make sure there's an A1 and then a dash so that I'm consistent with my other tabs there, as you can see, and press enter to confirm. Okay, we now go to our Insert tab here, or do we? No, we go to the Home tab first, make sure that we're on our Tables layer, then we go to the Insert tab, then we go to the Linking and Extraction here, and click here on Extract Data. Now we're going to create a new data extraction. Now I don't even have to go into Model to do this. I just click on Next. You'll see there's a Blocks Example DXE there, a data extraction template. What I'm going to do there is I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to utilize that particular template. Or shall I create a new one? Well, let's create a new one. Let's call it A1-Blocks and then Quantities. Then it matches up with our tab in the layout there. I click on Save, and then that saves that particular DXE file. Now I make sure that I include the current drawing, and I'm going to go to Settings, and I'm going to extract objects from blocks and objects from XREFs, but I only want the objects in the model space. I don't want anything from the layout space, no revision blocks, for example. I OK that now and click on Next. That extracts the information. I untick Display all object types because I want to display blocks only. Display blocks with attributes only? No, that's only 4 of them. I want to display objects currently in use only. What I'm going to do now is be clever. I'm going to go down the list and untick the ones that I don't want. I don't need client name, for example. That can go. What else have I got here? Multimedia Center, that's a block name, so I need to keep that. Revision 1, I don't need that either. Pella Double Door, I do need that. That's a block. Shrubs I need. Sideboard, sofa, they're all blocks of objects in the drawing. Let's keep scrolling down. Have I got anything else there? Now I've got a wall sync dynamic there, so I don't need those 3 blocks there. They were used to build that dynamic block. They're single blocks. I need the dynamic block with all 3 views built in. I then click on Next. Again now I need to filter my block information before I extract it. I don't need any 3D visualizations. I don't need any dynamic blocks, or do I? Yes I do. There are dynamic blocks there. What about miscellaneous? No, I don't need that. Geometry? Don't need that. What about general? Let's have a look. Color, comments? Not really. Don't need those either. So you can see now age. I've got attribute, drawing. Can you see that? If I take the drawing one out as well, you'll see now I've got flip states. Do I need those? No, I don't. So I take the dynamic block information out. So you'll see that I've got age, manufacturer, model, and name. That's all I need at the moment. I click on Next. As you can see, a big list of blocks, lots of blocks there. So it's going to be a big table. Now what I'm going to do is change some of these around. I want the count there to move. I want that to go right across the end. So I click and I drag and I move it across. Can you see that? So I click, I can sort by count there, but I click and I drag. Can you see that? And then release. So the count ends up over here. I'm going to right click and rename that anyway, and that's going to become quantity. I can rename any of these columns quite happily, but I'll leave that one as quantity. Now you'll notice the rest of them are in capitals, so let's update that and make sure that's in capitals as well. Quantity, like so, and press enter. I'll also do the name one here as well. So click there, right click, and I need to rename the column. So I'll rename that as block name. And make sure you've got your caps lock on or off. Okay, so make sure if you're using caps lock you don't hold down shift like I just did. And make sure you spell things correctly as well. It's always good just to quickly look up and check. You might be looking down at your keyboard and typing away and you could spell something wrongly. Now one thing I am going to do there is sort those. They start at W at the moment. I don't want them to start at W. I want them to start with A, B, C like so. Show count column and show name column. I want those. I don't need to link to any external data. but I can do a preview there. So there's a preview. That's what it looks like. I now hit the next button, and I'm going to insert the drawing. Now I could output data to an external file, such as an Excel spreadsheet or an Access database or even just a TXT file. I'm not going to in this case. I click on Next. There's my table preview. I'm using the revision table as a template, and the title for my table is Block Quantities. Again, look, the caps lock is there. Always look up and check. So Block Quantities. That's the title of my table. Like so. Title cell style title, header cell style header, data cell style data. Click on Next. If you choose to insert a table, you'll be prompted for an insertion point. So I click on Finish. There's my table. It's quite large, as you can see. So if I click there, there's all my information, my block quantities. Now what I'm going to do there is click on that and drag, like so, to make it bigger, like so. And there's all my information. I'll just hit Escape there to deselect. If I zoom in now, look, there's all my block information on the one sheet. Now obviously, as I update that and save and regenerate the drawing, that table will actually update as I go, depending on what changes are made. I'm not going to show you any changes now, but as you can see, you extract your attributes to a table and perhaps place them on a separate tab in your layout tabs.